So a few that can't make it today. So we're going to start lying down. So we're going to do quite a lot on the floor today. There's going to be not that much standing up. And which is quite, I mean, it's going to be a nice gentle practice, mainly floor based, a lot around the hips we're doing. 1, 2, who else is that? Oh, Francoise. So just waiting for a couple more people. What time is it now? 32. What's Francoise's? Claire, Jill. Hi, Anne. Can you see me? Yeah, Anne's camera's on. Hi, Anne. Rose. Rose, are you there? Yeah, I think Rose is there.
I am, Mary. Hi.
Hi, Rose. You okay?
Yeah, good, good. Yeah, can't wait.
Brilliant. Just wait. Oh, here's Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Mary.
Right, there's a few people that can't make it today, so they're just going to do the recording later. So if we all come to lying down, might be a couple. Yeah, Francoise, she should be coming. So if you all just come to a nice, comfortable lying down position, and I'll just talk about what the class today is about. So just make sure you're warm enough. We're going to do quite a lot of movement on the floor, as I said earlier. All we need today really is a blanket, I would think, to maybe support us, support our head, support our knees. So this series of classes, we're working through the chakras, which are the energy points in the body. And I think a really good way to imagine them is if you imagine a line, a bolt of energy or something coming from the heavens, from way up out of space, coming directly through the center of your body to the earth and going right down to the core of the earth. And where it goes through the crown of your head and out through the body are where the 7 chakras are placed. So right in the center of the body. And they're not physical, but they are related to physical parts of the body. So it's more about energy and prana. We talked quite a lot about prana, life force, in the last series of classes. They're basically, they sort of describe them as, it actually means, the word chakra actually means in Sanskrit discs or circles, or it can even mean spinning and turning as well. So it's where our energy moves through, our life force energy moves through our body. And they're each related to where they are in the body and our emotions. So last week we worked on the first chakra, which is the Muladhara, and we talked about the root. And that really is about ourselves and where we are in life and our root, where we come from. So it's really about us, who we are. When we move up to the second chakra, which we're doing today, it's called the Svadhisthana. I mean, there's so much to know about them. It's quite intense, but I'm just doing brief sort of outlines of them. So the Svadhisthana chakra is placed sort of, they consider it in the pelvic bowl. So if you think directly between the spine, a couple of fingers beneath the navel and between the front and the back body. And it actually means, Svadhisthana actually means sweet place or your own place of dwelling. So it's sort of about where you are, your sweet place. So it's really, so we're now sort of moving out from us and who we are and our groundedness and our association with the earth. The Muladhara is related to the earth element. Now we're moving into the water element, and also we're moving outside of us and thinking about relationships and creativity and emotions connected to these. So that's what the Svadhisthana chakra is about. It's where we sort of realize our creativity. It's about relationships. It's about sexuality. It's about letting go, but also boundaries as well. So it's those polarities of being able to let go, but having strong boundaries. So we're going to work on sort of freeing this area and thinking about the energy being able to flow through. And it's also, of course, really related to the hips. So that whole area goes out to the hips. And as I've said before, in our hips, we hold a lot of emotions. A lot of our old stories and history are stored in our hips. So sometimes you might find when we move this area quite a lot, you might find some emotions come up. And actually this happens quite a lot in yoga, and not only in working the hip area. What happens is that when we're moving, we might have moved that part of the body a million times before, but we just might move it and breathe in the right way. And it just might unblock something in our energy, which could make you feel quite overwhelmed emotionally. You might feel, you either want to laugh hysterically or sob with tears. And this can quite often happen. And this is part of what yoga is doing, is unblocking different energies. So what we're doing is we're letting go, we're flowing because we're in water today, feeling the water element, and we're feeling, and we're just yielding. And it also means that we're living our life with ease. And so we're more able to adapt to change. So we're able to sort of, when things come along, instead of being phased out by any change that comes along, just being able to go with it is the point of it. So we're going to keep our breath, keep our focus, and maybe take our breath to this area for most of the class. So I think a really good way to start this class is to think about, I've done this breath with some of you, is the Ujjayi breath, which is the victorious breath. And it's the nice thing about it is it sounds like the sea. So it's like the ocean. And some people do call it the ocean breath. So if you think about when you breathe onto a mirror or a window pane to clean it, so you go, so you just slightly contract that epiglottis, so you make that noise. We do that with the mouth closed. So I'll come up close to the microphone. So you just hear a noise, sounds a bit like the sea. As you breathe in and you breathe out, you contract the epiglottis. So with the mouth closed, if that's comfortable. And really, it only needs to be audible to you, because having the breath audible to you enables you to be able to really concentrate on the breath. So let's just take a few breaths here with our knees bent, maybe feet apart, knees dropping into each other, and just tune into this lovely ocean breath. While we're lying here, allowing the skeleton to just really melt onto the ground, the head to be heavy, the legs just relaxed in towards each other. If you find the breath a bit constraining, you know, please just let go of it. I think it's actually a very calming breath. We don't have to do it all the way through the practice, but maybe as you sort of think about it, or maybe if we're released into a position, maybe take yourself back to the Ujjayi breath. So just another couple of breaths here. And we're going to start with just loosening up this whole area, the whole hip and pelvic bowl area. So a really nice way to do it is to take your hands, palms down, and put your hands underneath the lower back, hands are underneath the buttocks, the wrists are at about the lower back. So when you lift your legs up, you're really nice and supported. So we're just going to lift our legs up into the air. And first of all, for a few breaths, we're going to really shake the legs. Just really shake them. That's it. Just let them loosen up. Then let's bend and stretch them. And then shake them again. That's it. And then we're just going to, we can close our eyes here, don't care about what anybody else is doing. To really bring that water theme in, we're just going to pretend that our legs are two long strands of seaweed. Sounds quite funny. If you just think about it as the seas, or even in a lake or a river, flows around, how seaweed just moves. And we're just doing this to really come into contact with our hips, our pelvic bowl, and just let the legs be really easy and just move around wherever feels good. So you can just close your eyes, maybe visualize a lovely sandy seabed, and the legs are healthy strands of seaweed. So just notice where it feels easy to move your legs and your hips. Sort of keep the knees nice and soft and the ankles nice and soft. Maybe incorporate the Ujjayi breath, so you can really visualize yourself in the sea. And then we're just going to slowly release the legs down to the ground. Plant the feet on the ground. Remove the hands from underneath the back. Let the sacrum be heavy onto the ground, and let the feet be really planted on the ground. And just notice the energy. You can notice sort of movement. I sort of feel a lightness in my legs now, lightness in my hips. So just feel that. And then to wake up the area even more, remember when we do those pelvic tilts where we enlarge the arch in the body and then we push the arch down. We're going to do those, but using the feet. We're not going to be thinking about, usually we do it for our pelvic floor and core muscles. So really thinking about inside. I want you to actually just think about the feet, press into the feet, and just as you inhale, you pull with the feet. So the pelvis goes up towards the thighs. And as you exhale, you push into the feet. So the arch in the back flattens. So you're just pulling and pushing. And then you just really we're not doing it to the breath. We're just rocking, called pelvic rocks. So we're just pushing. And this loosens up all the fascia in the body. So you're rocking backwards and forwards, pulling with the feet. So it's a subtle movement. You'll feel your head moving up and down. And this moves all the fascia on the body, which is the netting, which covers the whole skeleton, which also can harden and sort of stop movement. We need to keep all this moving as well. That's just a few more. And then release. Just release the hands to the ground. Notice what's going on in the body. And then we're going to move into the pelvic tilts. But whereas usually I get you to draw all the muscles in when we exhale, we don't want to do that today. We're going to leave the abdomen really nice and soft. We want all the energy to be flowing through. We want to think about, you know, being like water, being really soft and flowing. So we're just going to, as we inhale, we're just going to enlarge the arch under the back, about enough to put a hand under the back. Really press the sacrum into the ground though. And then as we exhale, we're just going to roll the pelvis back and just press the arch into the back. And then as you inhale, just see if you can roll up from the middle back to the pelvis. Inhale, exhale, press the arch down. Inhale, press the sacrum into the ground. So you're really pressing the back of the hips into the ground. And exhale, press the arch into the back, into the ground. So just inhaling, taking the pelvis towards the thighs, enlarging the arch, keeping the abdomen really nice and soft. Exhaling, pressing the arch, still pressing the sacrum into the back. So trying to keep above the waist as still as possible. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, just freeing up this whole area. And exhaling. Just do a couple more. And then just come back to that neutral position. Just take a breath and notice what's going on. And then we're going to bring the knees up towards the chest. So we're going to place the hands on the knees and really slow 3 circles in one direction. Keeping the hands on the knees. Just going to mute everybody. And then when you've done 3 in that direction, 3 in the other direction. Check somebody else coming in. Lovely. Then just place the feet back down onto the ground. Bring the feet out as wide as the mat. And let's just inhale over to the left, take both knees over to the left. And exhale, take the knees over to the right. So windscreen wiper legs. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Just feeling that lovely roll across the back of the hips. And then back to center. We're going to walk the feet in. Remember, when we're seated and we do Baddha-Konasana, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and the knees apart. Remembering as well, really thinking about how this is the seat, the point of our creativity. So if you feel like moving in a different way and adding bits on, always do that. So we think about opening up all our creativeness. So we're going to, so we're just going to press the soles of the feet together first of all. Just feel the knees heavy. Inhale here and feel the whole openness of the body, have the arms spread. And then we're just going to exhale and bring the knees back up. Inhale, bring the knees apart, bring the soles together. And exhale, knees together. Exhale, inhale apart. Really feel the breadth and the width in the body. And exhale, knees together. And just notice the movement in the hips. Inhale apart. And exhale together, press into the feet. And one more time, inhale out. Exhale together. And we're going to end up with the feet, the knees apart. So inhaling there, and let's just swoop the arms up to above the head. That's it. And just take a couple of breaths here. Bringing the arms over the head. Let's just bring the knees towards the chest. We're also moving really slowly today because it was that beautiful super pink moon last night. I don't know if anybody saw it. It was really low in the sky actually, and I only managed to catch it at about 4 o'clock in the morning. So when it's the full moon, we are sort of thinking about slowing down a bit, resting, reassessing everything. So it's sort of quite timely with this working on the hips and the sacral area. So bringing the knees to the chest, hugging them in. And we're going to inhale, press the back of the body into the ground, and exhale, bring the forehead up to the knees. And then inhale, lower the head back down again. Keep hold of the left knee and lengthen the right leg out along the ground. That's it. And just feel the right leg against the ground. Feel the body nice and even on the ground. And then we're going to just move that left knee out towards the armpit. Remember happy baby. So we're going to come into a half happy baby. So first, bring the knee towards the armpit and then bring the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. And so you can either hold on to the back of the thigh, maybe the ankle, or maybe the outside edge of the foot. And just breathe there. That's it. So we want the sole of the foot facing towards the ceiling. Just notice that feeling there. Just breathing down. Keep breathing down into that Svadhisthana, that sacral chakra area all the time. Thinking about really allowing everything to flow through it. Bring the knee back to center and just lengthen that leg out. Maybe notice the difference between the hips. And then bring the right knee to the chest and hug the right knee into the chest. Feel the left leg stretched out along the ground. And then bring the right knee out towards the armpit. So it's as if you want the knee to go to the armpit. And then take the sole of the foot towards the ceiling. So you might just hold under the thigh, at the thigh, beneath the knee. You might hold the ankle or the shin. Or you might hold the outside of the foot. Breathing here, remember the exhale, you could always let go with the exhale. So as you exhale, maybe you could just feel that bit more of a release in the hip. And then let's release that leg down. Because we're flowing through water this week, we're going to do a little flow with that. So we're going to do a flow from the Baddha Konasana. So let's bring the soles of the feet back together into the happy baby. And then we're extending the legs. So we're going to inhale here. Let's bring the arms back up above the head. So inhale here. Feel that lovely openness of the body. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the knees towards the armpits. So nice wide legs. We're going to inhale and bring the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. So holding wherever you feel like holding, maybe just behind the thighs. And as we exhale, we're actually going to lengthen the legs out. That's it. So just, that doesn't matter if the knees are bent, we're just going to lengthen the legs out. Take a couple of breaths there. And then we're going to come back to happy baby. Bring the knees back into the chest. And then big toes together, soles of the feet together. And we're going to reach the arms up again and come back into the Baddha Konasana legs. And let's just do that 2 more times and flowing through it with the breath. So let's inhale, arms above the head, Baddha Konasana. Exhale, bring both knees towards the armpits. Inhale, happy baby. Exhale, lengthen the legs out. Inhale, back to happy baby. And then exhale, bring the feet down again. Bring the arms up above the head. And inhale here. And exhale, just let the body release. That's it. Inhale, breathe into the whole of the body. And exhale, bring the knees to the armpits. Inhale, happy baby. The soles of the feet towards the ceiling. And exhale, lengthen the legs out, just as much as comfortable for you. That's it. Inhale, back to happy baby. Inhale, bring the soles of the feet together. Lower them to the ground and bring the arms up above the head again. And just take a breath there. And then we're just going to sweep the arms back round. We're going to bring the feet parallel, bring the knees up. Bring the knees back to the chest, and then it's your choice, either roll over to the side to come up, or maybe roll a couple of times on the spine. Oops. And all come up to seated. That's it. So we're just going to come up to seated, and actually we're not even going to sit in Sukhasana, easy pose. We're going to come straight to Baddha Konasana. So we're just going to sit here, thinking about being easy and flowing today. So, you know, we always do a lot of stretching and folding forward and all that. Let's just more circle around the sacrum. Just thinking about circling round and then the other way. And then just coming back here. Just feeling the length in the spine, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. And we'll just take a couple of breaths in that Ujjayi breath again. It's that ocean breath, so hearing the breath. You don't want to force it too much or be too loud. Sometimes it's quite funny because if you're in a class, it can sound like there's loads of Darth Vaders in there or something. We want to keep it quite quiet and inside us. It's for us to listen to. We're only doing a couple of things seated today. So now we're just going to lengthen the legs out widthwise. That's it. Bring the hands behind first of all, and we will just lengthen the spine. Press the back of the legs into the ground. Just feel that nice length. That's it. And then we'll bring the hands to the legs. And we're just going to flow the left arm over and then flow the right arm over. So just flowing from side to side for just a few breaths. So just being nice and easy, feeling the opening of the intercostal muscles, stretching in the waist. Let's just do one more each side. And then back to center. And just feel that length. And then we just really nice, just pull your legs up, bring them back to center. And we're going to come over onto all fours. So coming onto our fronts, just get my hair right. Fingers really nicely spread, knees underneath the hips. That's it. Just bring your focus again down into the sacral area. Take the breath to there. And let's start off with some cat-cows. And let's take the cat-cows from that sacral area. So as we inhale, let's move from the sacrum and just wave the spine and then look towards the end of the mat. As we exhale, move again from the sacrum, a wave going through, so you end up spine to ceiling, navel to spine. Inhale from the sacrum again. And exhale from the sacrum. Emptying all the breath out. Couple more at the length of your own breath. So just feeling that wave through the spine. And last one. Tucking the head in last. And back to neutral. Just take the hips from side to side. We're going to bring the left leg out behind, just gently press into the ball of the foot, first of all, and then lengthen it up behind. We're going to inhale here and exhale, bring the nose and the knee towards each other. Empty the breath out, curl into a ball. Inhale, lengthen, feel that movement in the hip, and exhale, knee to nose. And one more, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, knee to nose. And then just place that knee down. Extend the right leg out, press into the ball of the foot first of all, so you're just engaging the whole of the leg, and then raise the leg up. That's it. Inhale from crown of the head to the tips of the toes, and exhale, curl the spine, bring the nose to the knee. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, curl, and one more, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, curl. And then just bring that knee down directly underneath the hips. That's it. Feeling there. Feeling the softness in the body, allowing the body to be soft, but also controlling the body. And then just another hip opener here, where we just inhale, a bit like a dog really. We're just going to inhale, raise the leg up, exhale down. So not bringing it to the ground, just a few, bringing up and down to the side. That's it. Really nice and strengthening for the outer hip muscles. Couple more. And bring that knee down. That's it. And then the other side. So really feeling into that outer hip. You might feel the inner groin here. And then bringing that knee down as well. That's it. You're going to just inhale into cow here. And then exhale, take the hips right back to the heels. Child's pose. We're then going to inhale and snake along the ground and come up into a nice low cobra. Nice long back of the neck, hug the elbows in and just pressing the pubic bone into the mat, pressing the toes into the mat. And exhale, lower the head down. Press into the hands, take the hips back to the heels, lengthen the spine, and then come back up onto all fours again. Inhale into that cow position where we drop the abdomen towards the ground, we draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, curl the spine back to the heels, lengthen the spine. Inhale, slide along the ground to come to cobra. Draw the hands down the mat. That's it. So you're pulling the hands slightly down, hugging the elbows in, pressing the toes in, cobra. Exhale, lower the head down. And inhale, back to child's pose. Feel that lovely length in the lower back. And then come back up to all fours again. Just notice the energy moving around the body. I'm going to do that one last time. So let's inhale, just gently come into cow, sticking the hips in the air, drawing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, take the hips back to the heels. Inhale, snake along the ground to come into cobra. Nice inhale here, feeling that space in the chest. Exhale, lower the head down. And inhale, take the hips back to the heels. Let's just stay here for a breath, the hips at the heels. And then let's do those lovely big hip circles. So circling the hips. Moving the spine in the S-like shape. Remember that we want to keep all the energy flowing down through the spine, through the chakras, and then the other way. And then just bring the hips back to the heels. Lengthen the arms out. Breathe into the back of the lungs. And then breathe down to the back of the sacrum, the sacral area. Have the hands out, maybe a little bit wider than the shoulders. Fingers really, really spread. You're going to inhale up onto all fours. Make sure that the feet are in line with the hips. And we're going to come up to the first downward dog. So just taking the hips back. Move the feet. Let's keep a little bend in the knees here. Take the gaze towards the legs. And then just really bend each knee. That's it. So we're pressing into the hands. We're taking the hips back towards the back of the mat. Let's inhale as if we're inhaling through the crown of the head, right up through to our sacral area. And then we exhale back down through the legs. And we're just going to do 3 little ripples here, where we ripple over to plank. So we're going to inhale and ripple through the spine and just come to quite a loose plank. And exhale, ripple back to downward dog. So we're going to inhale, ripple through the spine. And exhale back. I'm just going to look at you lot do that. And then one more time, inhale through. That's it. And exhale back. Just feel that length. Maybe take the hips from side to side. Feel that lovely length, the lower back. And then look towards the hands and walk the feet, really feeling every footstep as it comes. They come up the mat to the hands, hip distance apart. We're going to take hold of the elbows here. Shake the head and nod the head. Let the upper body be really, really heavy. And then release the arms and bend the knees. And we're going to press into the feet. Remember that rootedness from last time. Really feeling those roots and rolling up to standing. And bring the head up last. And just then getting used to standing. Just noticing how it feels. We were on the ground. We spent quite a few. How long did we spend? Yeah, we spent over half an hour on the ground. So now we've come up. Just notice how you're feeling in the hips, in the whole sacrum area, whole sacral area. So if you think the point we're thinking about is right in the middle between there. Just maybe take a breath into that sacral chakra. Think about how we've already opened it up so much. how all our creative energy is flowing, how our relationship, how we can start being at ease with our relationships, which also means letting go of people and things that maybe don't serve us, as well as, really holding on and loving people that we need to as well. So let's just get to our rootedness here, come back to our rootedness. So remember, we press into the ground so that we can rise up and lengthen the spine. So as we press into the ground and energize the legs, we raise the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And just think about that length there. That's it, lovely. And we're going to inhale and raise the arms up. Feel the lovely length in each side of the body. And a little bend in the knees. Exhale and forward fold again into Uttanasana. Feel that the body's as heavy as the top half of the body is as heavy as the bottom. Really press the feet into the ground. Really allow the head to be heavy, the shoulders released. And we're just going to bend the knees as much as we need to bring the hands to the ground. And let's take the left foot back first. First of all, just feel the length between the crown of the head and the heel. And then we're just going to lower the knee and come into lovely Anjaneyasana. So we press into the shin, press into the foot, and bring the arms up. Maybe take your focus down to that hip area. We're thinking we're making all that space in our lungs, but just think about how we're sort of stretching the front of the hip flexor. Take the breath down to there, maybe take the gaze up to the ceiling. One more inhale here, and then we're going to exhale the hands down. We're going to tuck the back toes under, and we're going to step forward again to Uttanasana, pressing the hips towards the ceiling. Just take a breath here. Bend the knees as much as necessary and step the right foot back. Feel the length from crown of the head to the heel first. And then lower the knee, untuck the toes, press into the front foot and the shin. And inhale, sweep the arms up this side. Just take a few breaths, maybe taking the breath down to the sacrum area, to the pelvic bowl, to the hips. One more inhale here. Going to exhale, bring the hands down, tuck the toes under, step forward again to Uttanasana. Bend the knees and sweep the arms up, nice and tall. And then exhale, lower the arms down. That's it. Going to bring the feet out as wide as the mat. Remember, we do goddess or temple pose, so we just have the heels. A nice distance is to just have the heels on the mat, or the ends of the heels. That sort of gives you quite a good guidance. And then we just bend the knees. That's it, lovely. And we just feel that length in the back. We just keep flowing. So we're open to receive from the universe. So let's have the palms open here. And then we're just going to inhale, bring the arms up, and exhale down. That's it. And inhale up, and exhale down. And inhale up, and exhale down. Just take a breath here with the palms open. And then just lengthen the legs. Come back to the top of the mat, feet hip distance apart. Just notice the energy in the thighs from goddess pose. Inhale, raise the arms up, maybe take the gaze up towards the ceiling. And a little bend in the knees. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Let's do a halfway lift here. So let's bring the hands up the shins and lengthen the spine. And then exhale, forward fold. We're going to step the right foot back and then the left to come into downward dog. That's it. We're just going to take a breath here. Remember, fingers really nicely spread. We're pressing into the tops of the fingers, the roots of the fingers in each side of the hands. Spread the toes and lengthen the spine. That's it. Take the hips towards the back of the mat. Lovely. Just another breath here, feeling that length in the spine. We're going to come into lizard pose. So we're going to look towards the hands. We're going to step the right hand, the right foot, sorry, to the outside of the right hand. That's it. And then we just want to rock backwards and forwards. And then just lower that knee, the left knee. And then you've got a choice here. You could just stay here, breathing. Or you might just want to come down onto the forearms, maybe. Really press into the joint of the big toe, the right toe. Come down to the forearms, just breathe there. Also, each time you breathe, think of breathing into the hip and maybe letting go a little bit more in the hip. The exhale. And then we're going to walk the hands back. We're going to roll over onto the edge of that right foot so the knee comes out. Can you see? So when I go like that. And I'm just going to place my right hand on the knee and I'm just going to look over to my right shoulder. Can you see that, everybody? So we're just looking over. It's a bit of a twist. And you can bring the foot back flat. You can either stay here. I'll just see if anybody wants to take it a little bit further. You can either stay here breathing or you can bring the foot flat. And you can bend the left knee and take hold of the left foot. And then, so we're doing a nice quad stretch there as well. And you look over the right shoulder. That's it. Nice quad stretch. You'll stay where you were. And then let's just release that foot. Bring the hand down, tuck the back toes under, and your choice, you can either come back to all fours and then downward dog, or just come back to downward dog. Fingers nearly right, nicely spread, pressing into the whole hands. Remember that feeling that you're pressing into the earth. When we press into the earth, the body is receiving energy. So we're creating energy by pressing. Let's take a nice deep breath from the crown of the head up to the sacral area. And think of that sacral area. Exhale back down the legs. Look between the hands and step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. That's it. And then just rock like a lizard. We're looking a bit like a lizard here, supposedly. Rocking backwards and forwards. That's it. And then we're going to lower the back knee, untuck the toes. Just take a couple of breaths here, first of all. Just really pressing into the ball of the big toe here so that we keep the knee nice and safe. And then maybe coming down onto the forearms. You can always put a blanket underneath as well to just raise yourself up a bit if you want. Breathing into that length. Every time you exhale, maybe letting go a bit in the hip. And then walking the hands back up. To come in more of a twist. So we roll actually onto the edge of that foot. And we bring the left hand to the knee and we look over the left shoulder. Breathe down to below the waist. Feel that twist. And either staying here or bringing the foot back down flat, bending the right knee and taking hold of the right foot, and then just gently pulling that quad. So whichever's more comfortable for you, wherever you are today, it doesn't matter. It's about where's good for you, your practice. releasing the foot so it doesn't smash onto the ground. Bring the hands back inside the foot. Same thing, we'd come back to downward dog again. So however's good for you to come back to downward dog, or maybe all fours. Maybe you just want to be on all fours at the moment. And then just take a breath here. Let's shake the head and nod the head. And then look between the hands and walk the feet up to the hands again. Hip distance apart. Let the crown of the head drop towards the floor. And then bend the knees. And let's bend the knees and sweep the arms up. It's coming up with the flat back. Reach through the sides of the body. Press into the feet. Feel that lovely length in the body. And then exhale, lower the arms down. That's it. Next, we're going to come into Malasana, squat. So remember with the squat, we don't have to come all the way down. We can just slide the hands down the knees and just be here. Just make sure that the knees are much further behind the toes. You don't want to be leaning. You want to lean quite far back. Or otherwise, you can come right down to the squat. That's it. Hands, maybe bring the hands to heart center, feeling all the toes on the ground, feeling the feet on the ground. Really allowing the hips to completely release. Let's all breathe into that sacral area. And we're going to release the hands to the ground. And we're going to think of inhaling, looking ahead, and then exhaling, raising the hips up. You don't have to completely straighten the knees, head's heavy. And inhale, coming back up, coming down to squat. Exhale, taking the hips up. Inhale into the squat. And exhale, take the hips to the ceiling. Heel toe the feet off the mat. So you've got nice wide legs. That's it. I'm going to take hold of the elbows here. And we can bend the knees. And we're just going to do figures of 8 with the arms. A nice flowing between the legs. Really softening everything. Just flowing from side to side. And the whole upper body being really, really heavy. And then just releasing the arms, excuse me, and rolling up to standing. Heel toe the feet in. Bring the feet directly beneath the legs. And just take a couple of breaths here. Really keeping that focus around that sacral area. Just going to look at done all that. 25. Okay. We're going to try something. I think we have tried it once before. This is sort of like the epitome. So we need our blanket now. This is the sort of a really big hip stretch. People either absolutely love it or absolutely hate it. We might have done it before. It's this, in traditional yoga we call it pigeon, but in yin yoga they call it swan, which I think actually is quite a bit nicer than calling it pigeon. But it's where we bring the leg forward, but we can do it. There's several variations we can do as well. So we're going to have our blankets ready to sort of prop up our hips. But actually how we could start off, let's start off by just coming down to the ground. I'm going to face you. And we're going to come into what's called zigzag legs. So I'm going to do it in line with my mat, because then you can see the alignment. So I want that my front shin to be in line with the mat, sort of, so it's coming out to that sort of length in this position. And then we sort of bring the other leg out at an angle. If you feel like you're leaning over to one side, actually you can put the blanket underneath the hip, that buttock, and you can press down into that buttock. So we're just doing this to just sort of get the feeling of the pose. So we're just going to breathe there. That's it. So just feeling that position. We're just going to twist towards the front leg. Just twist to the side, back to center, and then twist towards the back leg, and back to the center. That's it. We're just going to change the legs. So this is just, we're just sort of warming up. All the hip stuff and sacral stuff we've done all the way through the practice is a warm up to almost come to this pose, this peak pose. So now we want the other shin in line, the front of the mat. Bring the leg back. Let's put the blanket again under the buttock, because that gives you something to really press into. And then just feel, so we want to think about getting the hips and the shoulders and the ears in alignment. And then we're going to twist towards the front leg. And then twist towards the back leg. And then back to the front. That's it. Let's move the blanket to the side and roll over onto all fours. So we're going to start with I'll start with my left leg first. So I'm going to bring my left knee towards my left wrist. You can't, I mean, the aim is to sort of bring the shin out more, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to do the more yin-like posture, whereas we keep the heel quite in towards our groin. So we're just going to wriggle that back leg back and just sit here. And the way this can help stabilize you is, let's put the blanket underneath, so you can sort of really, that left hip. Did I say left leg? And then we just come onto the fingertips and we just lengthen here. How's that feeling for everybody? Okay. So we're just lengthening here. This is really good for when you sit down a lot. Just opening up so many muscles. You can either stay here or you can come down onto the forearms, or you might even want to lengthen out altogether. I'm going to get up again. So I want you to breathe into that hip. That's it. So wherever is good for you to be, see if you can soften into the pose. So as you inhale, feel the breath filling the body. Take the breath down to the hip. And as you exhale, see if you can just soften and let the body release. Really take the breath down into that left hip. I think we're all doing the left leg. So we're just breathing there into the left hip. Let's walk the hands back. Coming out of this side, just bring the blanket out if you use the blanket. Just bring those back, that back knee forward, and take that left knee back there. You might just take the hips from side to side. That's it. And then feel that neutral pose in tabletop. And then we're going to bring the right knee towards the right wrist. They're almost touching. And then we just squidge, or creep the left leg back. That's it. Please don't take any pain in the knees at all. You mustn't have any pain in the knees. And then maybe prop that right hip up. And then just gently press. It's nice to come onto the fingertips and press into the fingertips. Another good thing you can do is you can bring the hands back and take hold of your yoga mat and pull on the yoga mat That's a lovely sort of back bend that you can do. And we're really opening all the chest area, so we're really filling the lungs with the breath. It's quite a nice thing. Or you can just stay on the fingertips. Remember that the fingertips have got so many so many energy points and sensors. It's really good to stimulate them by pressing into them. Notice your breath, breathing down to the sacrum and the hips, either staying here or coming to forearms. Or you may want to take it all the way down to the ground. Taking the breath down to the hip, breathing there. Every exhalation, releasing that little bit more. Letting go. Being able to let go physically, but thinking about letting go emotionally with your emotions. Not holding on to things. Another couple of breaths here. And then let's just walk the hands back. Tuck the back toes under and sort of move that leg up. Move the blanket away. And then just bring that knee back. Take the hips from side to side. Lovely, everybody. It's quite an intense pose, but it's a lovely pose. Well, some people hate it or love it. Quite often when I've done it in a class, half the class goes, oh, lovely. The other half of the class says, oh, no, not pigeon pose. Let's just take the hips back to the heels with child's pose. Let's bring the knees nice and wide, the big toes together, and just take a couple of breaths in child's pose. Breathing there. Thinking about the life force, the prana, just really easily traveling through now. We've freed up so much energy to enable us to live a life of ease. We want to live a life with grace and ease. Let's walk the hands back to kneeling, and we're just going to come back down onto our backs. So let's just come back down. Let's come into constructive rest to start with. So remember, we have the feet as wide as the mat and the knees dropping in. And we're just going to take a breath here. We want to give the body the time to release back to the ground. That's it. So just allow the knees to drop in. Let the body completely adjust. And then let's just walk the feet in. You want the sides of the feet to be parallel to the sides of the mat. So you might feel, it's good to feel that you're very slightly pigeon-toed when we come into bridge pose. And we want to feel the whole of the feet. Remember when I say about those points, the four corners of the feet? You can think about the four corners, or you can think about that triangle, pressing into the root of the big toe, the root of the little toe, and the whole of the heel. So just feel that connection to the earth. Feel that the hips are nice and even on the ground, and that the shoulders and shoulder blades. We're just going to do a really nice, soft, flowing bridge pose. So remember, we'll be all like we're flowing through water all the time at the moment. So we're going to inhale, press into the feet, and just raise the hips up. Bring the chest to the chin. Exhale, feel the back curl back down onto the ground. Let's inhale and raise the right arm up, and take the right arm up and the hips up, and take the gaze over to the left. And then exhale, gaze back to center, arm down, curl the spine down, bring the sacrum down last. Inhale, press into feet, bring up left arm, the other arm, up above the head, raise the hips, gaze in opposite direction. And exhale, arm down, head back to center, curl the spine. See how many vertebrae you can feel touch the ground. And press the sacrum into the ground when you come down. And let's finish the bridge with bringing both arms up, pressing into the feet. Bringing both arms up, chest comes up to the chin. Let's take a breath up here to really feel those corners of the feet. Inhale right down to the sacrum area and exhale. Inhale again, press into the feet, raise the hips. And then exhale, lower the arms, curl the back onto the ground. Bring the hips back down. Turn the palms up to face the ceiling, bring the arms away from the body. Heel toe the feet out as wide as the mat, and let's just take the knees again from side to side. Really lovely release for bridge pose. And then back to center, heel toe the feet back in, hip distance apart. We're going to do eye of the needle, last sort of hip opener, just slowing down now. Let's bring the right ankle, I'll do the same as you, right ankle across the left knee. Feel the hips nice and steady. And then we're going to take the right arm. Remember how we thread that between the legs. We lift the left leg up and either take hold behind the thigh, or each side of the leg, and then lie down, might take hold of the shin, and we're drawing that left thigh towards us. You might be gently pressing with the elbow on the right leg, pressing it out. So we're breathing down into that right thigh. Taking the breath down there. Thinking about all the energy we're allowing to flow through our hips and our pelvic area. Maybe unblocking any blockages there, balancing anything out. You don't want any pain, but just sort of drawing the leg as far as that you can just feel a bit of a stretch in that right hip. It's a really good stretch for the psoas as well. So if you sit down a lot, or if you experience pain in the buttocks at all, might be a trapped nerve in the psoas, one of the biggest muscles in the body. Just take another breath there. And then just release the left leg and allow it to float down to the ground, but place the right sole of the foot on top of the left thigh. That's it. Let's extend the right arm out and use the left hand to just bring that right knee over. Let the shoulders release. Let the weight of the arm maybe help the left leg. The weight of the left arm, help with the right leg. Maybe if it's comfortable, take your gaze over to the right. Breathe down to beneath the navel. Let's have a twist when we're lying down, slightly different, slightly higher, a higher twist. Allow everything to release in the twist. And then coming back up to center, I'm just going to place both feet on the floor again. Take a moment to notice any difference in the sides or just what you're feeling. And then we're going to take the left foot, left ankle, and put it across the right knee. Make sure the bony bit is sort of over the leg, so that's not digging into the leg. For eye of the needle, and we're going to thread the left hand between the legs and take hold behind the right thigh this time. And then lowering the body, the head back down to the ground. You want to keep the left foot flexed, but the right foot can be completely released. And then we're gently drawing that right thigh towards us. That's it. And we're gently pushing the left inner thigh away with the left elbow or left forearm. Really take the breath down into that left hip. Maybe come back to the Ujjayi breath. Or the ocean breath. And then let's release that right leg and just let it sweep down the ground. Left leg, left sole of the foot is top of the right thigh. We extend the left arm out to the palm facing the ceiling, just open to receive, and then we use the right arm to bring that left leg across the body. Take the breath down beneath the navel, maybe take it down again to that left hip. And just breathing there. Maybe take your gaze over to the left hand. So you've got a lovely couple of twists in the spine. So when we're twisting, we're really allowing the flow of the synovial fluid. Spino-sacral fluid. So it just really oiling up the spine, allowing the energy, not emotionally, all the energy, physically, all the fluid, allowing the blood to circulate, pressing the discs together. Another couple of breaths here. And then back up to center. That's it. Let's bring the knees to the chest. And just lie with the back flat on the ground. Let's rock from side to side. Let's just circle the legs one more time. So hands on the knees, you circle the knees around. And then the other way. And then just bring the knees back to the chest. Let's just take an inhale and press the back of the body against the ground. And exhale, bring the nose up towards the knees again, from the forehead to the knees. And then layer the spine down, ready for final relaxation, ready for Shavasana. Lengthen one leg to one corner, one to the other. But maybe get something warm on. If you want anything under the knees, remember you can always put cushions or blankets under the knees. You can always have a nice pad under the head with a blanket. That could be quite nice. Particularly if you find that you lie down and you find that your head, your chin slightly comes up. It's really good to put something under the head because we really want our sort of forehead, nose and chin in line so that we've got a nice length in the back of the neck. So make sure you're all warm enough. I'm going to sit up. Let's take a couple of Ujjayi breaths here to finish before we go into the relaxation. To think about that ocean breath. So we're just lying down. Yeah. No, we're still in Shavasana. Yeah. So just breathing down to the sacrum. Allowing the exhale to completely release you, allow you to completely melt on the ground. And then just let the breath return to its normal rhythm and pace. No, nothing to do. Just allow it to be itself. Become aware of the back of the body against the ground holding you up. And the front of the body being really beautifully soft and released. And we're just going to do a really nice visualization here. So really allow the body to be relaxed and heavy. And just visualizing for a few minutes, maybe floating, just being able to float in a nice river, feeling really supported and safe, but you're just floating along. The body is completely weightless. Just feeling the body just being moved by the water and how the body can be completely at one with the water. And then the color of the Svadhisthana chakra is orange. So just visualize that as you inhale, you're inhaling a lovely orange light that's filling the whole body. And as you exhale, that orange light is just simmering around the whole sacral and hip area. So inhaling, the orange light is filling the whole body. And exhaling, it's just simmering in the area. That's it. And just imagine this, or you as a sort of orange, gentle orange glowing light floating on this beautiful river, the sun shining on you. And then slowly bringing your mind back to here, leaving the river, bringing it back to this morning, becoming aware of your surroundings. Visualizing where you are in your room, visualizing the shape of your body, and then being aware of the shape of your body, coming back into your physical body. Let's just take the head from side to side, gently feeling the back of the head against the ground. Let's just move the fingers and toes. And then when you're ready, bending your knees and placing the feet on the ground. And just rolling over to your side, just taking a breath on your side before you come up. Coming up and keeping your eyes closed here, just finding an easy position to sit in. Just noticing how you're feeling after the practice. So the energy of the sacral chakra enables you to feel at ease in your life. It gives you fluidity to your movements, supple strength to your mind, and it enables you to adapt to your environment. So let's just take one last breath down to that sacral area, sort of sending our love down to that area. And then exhale out to the crown of the head. Let's bring the palms of the hands together and rub the palms of the hands, create some energy. Cup the hands over the eyes. Let that energy be absorbed. And then bring the hands down to the heart center. Bow our heads, thanking ourselves and each other for doing the practice. And then opening the eyes as we raise our head. And I hope you've all benefited from the yoga this morning. And have a good week. Remember, you can always, if you need to ask me questions during the practice, always just unmute yourselves or ask me afterwards if there's anything you want to say. But have a good week, everybody. Just looking a bit grayer today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice week, everybody.
Yeah, you
Thank
too.
you, Mary.
Thank you,
Bye.
Mary.
Move with ease and grace. Bye. Bye.
Mary. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary.
Bye. Thanks, Rose. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, SB.
That was so great. Thank you,
Oh,
Mary.
good. How is your headache gone?
Yes,
Brilliant.
I feel so relaxed.
Oh, good.
Maybe
Carry on.
would you send me the recording? It's such a nice.
Yeah,
lesson.
sure. Yeah,
I
sure.
feel-
Because you can move with fluid and ease from now on.
I feel very, very loose now.
Oh, that's good. I know it's a really good area because that's where we hold ourselves.
I know,
up,
and
isn't it?
I have a, I have a blockage there. Also, it's funny because it was the full moon was in Scorpio, so it's it's all very.
It was very low, wasn't it?
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a really sort of like peachy, pinky colour.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I love the moon.
Yeah.
So
Couldn't see it that much from here. I couldn't see it till the early morning. About 4 a.m. I saw it, and there are all little clouds around it.
I was awake at 4 o'clock in the morning as well.
Yeah. Did you see it then? It was beautiful.
No, I didn't see it, but I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning as well.
Yeah. I know it's a time that quite a lot of people wake up, isn't it?
I know. I wish I just slept through. Thank you so much. And
thanks, SB. And see you next week. I'll send you the recording as well. Okay.
Thank you,
Have
darling.
a good week.
And you.
Move with fluid and grace.
Thank you.
Bye.